Good evening, and welcome to all of you to our annual Green Chimneys Gala. I'm Jay Sanders, and normally as frequent master of ceremonies, I would be doing this in person. But our world has changed. I'm sorry we can't all be together tonight, but hold May 20th, 2021 for next year. Tonight we have a great evening planned for you, full of animals, kids, and a few surprises. Our current situation makes your support of Green Chimneys more important than ever. Our ability to provide our services for children with special needs depends on your generosity and of our partners and friends. So I hope you have fun, and as Rollo and Myra would say, give generously. And now I'm going to pass you along this evening to our hosts, Bob Viteri and Don Ross. Stay safe, wear a mask, and enjoy. And I hope to see you all again in person next year.
Well, we might have some technical difficulties there. Good evening and greetings from Las Vegas. Um, and thank you so much for your continued support of Green Chimney School. First of all, fair warning, this is our first virtual gala, and it's an experiment, but we are very excited about it. I can't help but think how happy and proud my dad would be by this virtual gala. He was always one of the first to embrace technology, and I think this evening's event would fascinate him. But before we go on, I have a little housekeeping to run through for everyone. First, I want to let you know that we have an online auction going on right now on CharityBuzz.com. There are some really great items available for you to bid on tonight, all designed for the winner to invite friends and family to a virtual experience. Imagine an opportunity to have a 30-minute conversation with a former Major League Baseball player and coach, and presently a senior advisor of baseball operations for the Los Angeles Angels. Yes, we have available tonight a 30-minute Zoom call with Hall of Fame manager Tony La Russa. Tony is also founder of ARF's Animal Rescue Foundation, which does great work for both animals and our veterans. The next item is a virtual wine tasting. Imagine 8 people invited over to your house, and we will send you some wines from Napa Valley from all over the world. And at an agreed upon time, the master sommelier of Trinchero Family Estates will call your home via Skype and take you and your guests through a virtual wine tasting. This is something that you really can't even find anywhere else. And finally, a virtual vermouth and Italian pre-dinner cocktail 101 class. That will be given to you by internationally renowned mixologist Francesco Lafranconi. And Francesco has won world acclaim for his recipes. And again, he will agree with the host and hostess to call your home. We will send you the alcohol, and you will be given all kinds of bar tools, and you can experiment and go through a class with Francesco. You will notice now what just popped out on our screen, and that is our fundometer. And I'm waiting for it to pop up. There it goes. Wow, 48,000 already. This is awesome. During tonight's gala, you can text to send us a live auction, a live donation. Our goal is 75,000, but we won't stop there, so keep bidding. We are already off to a great start, as you can see, and we hope to reach or exceed that goal by the end of tonight. Donating is easy. I know everyone received directions with their final gala email, but let me run through that one more time for you. Grab your phones. I'm going to do the same. So grab your phones. Let me figure it out here. Okay. Grab your phones, and you can go to the text area and put in number 970-840-9000. That would be in your message type. And then type in GC Gala, that's GCGALA, space then put in the amount you'd like to give. So I'm going to give, I've already given about 7,500 from the Sam and Myra Ross Foundation, but I'll give another $250 just to show you how it's done. And put a space after the amount, put as many zeros as you want after the numbers. It'll take it, but just remember to put a space after that. And then put your name and a space and push go. And hopefully my contribution that I just got a response, so it should have gone through. And there I am. I'm the new donor. Good. I think I'm channeling my dad right now. He said I kind of cheaped out with the 250. Dad, we already gave 7,500. Take it easy. So as a bonus, any donation of 250 or more will enter you into a sweepstake where the prize is a Green Chimneys animal of your choice, and you might just see a few of them tonight at your next meeting or group chat. How much fun would it be to have one of our camels or a bird of prey from our Farm and Wildlife Center visit and surprise your family on your next Zoom call, or have an animal join you and your associates at one of your next virtual staff meetings, since we're all doing those right now. Speaking about the Farm and Wildlife Center, excuse me, coming live from there right now is Green Chimneys Executive Director Ed Plackey, and with him, Michael Kaufman, our Director of Farm and Wildlife Center. Hi, Ed. Hi, Michael. I see you have a special guest.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Most of us know what the huge and significant role animals in nature play in our education and therapy for all of our children here at Green Chimneys. Green Chimneys, as many of you know, is recognized as a world leader in animal-assisted therapies and nature-based programs. This farm and our two campuses came to be through the hard work and dedication of our amazing founders, Sam and Myra Ross. Today, Green Chimneys provides education, therapeutic, and residential programs to more than 250 children across 3 counties. Actually, it's more like 8 or 9 counties across our 2 campuses. In addition to mental health and supportive preventative services for more than 1,000 children and families throughout the community each year. In addition, we offer summer camp programs, swim programs, a comprehensive nursery school, and other educational programs for our public. Our over 200 animals and wildlife residents are truly our partners in therapy and education. Michael is one of our partners right here. Hey, Michael, can you introduce us?
I can certainly do that, Ed. Welcome, everybody. So it's the end of the day at the farm. Everything has been put away for the night and fed, except for a few of our special animals that we're going to introduce to you. We thought it would be fun. So this is live, and when you work with animals, you never quite know how it's going to go. Behind me is Danielle, who is one of our excellent animal caregivers. Very experienced working with the children, started as a farm intern. And the animal she's holding is Brooke. Now, many of our animals come to us with a story of being rescued, and Brooke is one of those. When Brooke was a lamb, she was found in a box with her sibling, who unfortunately was dead. And in Brooklyn, in the city, how they got there, nobody really knows. But we were called by the ASPCA, and Brooke came here, was hand raised by the children and the staff, and for 11 years now has worked with all kinds of kids. And of course, today she's gleaming. Danielle had some students wash her for us so that for the gala, she's just looking really spiffy. You know, the fact that the children raised her is significant, because what it does is it allows our children to become caretakers. They're so used to having people worry over them and take care of them that it's a new experience to now be able to pass on that care. And think about it, 11 years Brooke has been here. Those kids now are back in the community. They are having families. They may have children of their own, and are doing significantly better than when they came here. And that is our goal. The other animals, you have, well, before I do the animals, that's Miss Samantha. Samantha is the manager of our equine program, which you see the horse barn right behind her. She is holding Ms. Maya, who is the mom of little Cricket, and Cricket was born here last year. Maya came to us pregnant, and the whole community was waiting for Maya to give birth. And it took many weeks, and every adult and child was really eager for it. nurses, administrators, administrative assistants, everyone came out to the barn, never mind classroom teachers and kids. And once cricket was here, the excitement was big, and everyone thinks of cricket as their baby. And that's what relationship with animals is supposed to be. That's what community is. And of course, Don, your dad, Donald Ross, your dad, Sam, really modeled that for us all these years, and we're continuing that.
Thank you, Michael. The last 4 months have been extremely difficult for all of us. Most of us have heard or read about the mental health impact of the quarantine on both children and adults. But for special needs children and their families, the stress can be especially overwhelming. I'm extremely proud of the phenomenal staff at Green Chimneys. They pulled together and worked tirelessly to continue providing services to our students, supporting their families, and caring for our farm animals. They truly are essential workers. We would now like to share a video that highlights Green Chimneys' response to the COVID-19 crisis. Let's take a look. As of mid-March, when Governor Cuomo ordered an executive order and indicated that all schools would be closed for a period of time, agencies such as Green Chimneys were mandated to continue to provide services to both children and families. We began to plan for the worst scenario. We really had no idea that it would be more than 2 or 3 weeks, but as a result, we planned long term.
We're an animal-assisted activity, therapy, and education program. The kids work with the animals, and in March, that stopped.
Our responsibility is the 152 students who come to school every day from 70 communities, the 102 youngsters who live with us in our residential program, as well as the students who receive supports via our community service program. That was my responsibility, along with my team, to ensure that we can keep the 484 staff as well as students connected.
Our children require a much higher level of care than most school programs. When all other schools closed their doors, we didn't have that option. So we had to figure out how to keep our program running safely. A lot of that fell on the health center to develop safe policies and procedures for not just our students, but our staff and their families and the community. What we received in the beginning was a lot of unknown, very little information.
A big part of the spirit of Green Chimneys is the connectivity between our staff, working shoulder to shoulder on behalf of every child and every family that are involved in the Green Chimneys community. The teachers also work with the students they typically work with during face-to-face instruction. That didn't change. Same group of students, same teachers, same staff. For our students to truly learn, they needed to be emotionally regulated. That's where our social services came in.
We really had to shift and think about how we were going to deliver our services differently and do it quickly, knowing that these families and kids were at home struggling with not a lot of support in their community. As we started, we had only these 7 kids on the campus from the residential program. We started getting some of our kids back on the residential campus really because they couldn't manage for too much longer in the community. Feelings of anxiety and stress and worry and fear, these are all very normal feelings, so amp that up by 1,000 and you have maybe what some of our kids are dealing with and managing on a daily basis. Now they are doing all of their learning on a remote platform where they're having to sit in a room and be still to watch and participate.
Respite is really a way to provide many of the struggling youth with a chance to work on skills in the moment, as well as being able to provide the youth with a break. Since the pandemic, we've had to reevaluate how we're going to be working with the kids. Individual sessions included discussing how they were dealing with the pandemic, the change from in-person education to online education.
Some of the changes we've had to make during this epidemic were social distancing at its best. We weren't too sure how kids were going to react to these changes, how kids with special needs, sensory issues, and kids who have a hard time sort of following direction.
What really also was a learning curve is how do we keep our animals involved? How do we keep them going in terms of their training? Particularly our horses are used to being ridden every week, being interacted with. They have a lot of human contact. At the center of it were 6 animal caretakers, mostly younger folks, who just knocked it out of the ballpark. They came in every day, did their job. We had to start finding ways to let the kids come to the animals safely. How do we do that, keeping social distance for us adults with the kids around the animals? Several months later, we are ready.
Today is Monday, the 18th of May, 2020.
These youngsters need continuity. They need a consistent schedule. We had morning announcements. We did the Pledge of Allegiance. We did the weather. We did various current events. We kept them connected to their school. Many of the youngsters receive counseling twice per week here when they're on campus. During the pause, they were receiving counseling almost on a daily basis, and that really was key.
When we talk about the residents that are on campus, they've been doing an amazing job, to say the least. A lot of them haven't seen their families in quite some time, and for any child, it's a huge challenge. Our staff members helped out with schooling and tutoring and homework and things of that nature to help these children to remain in class. They've come up with some really great activities and ideas for these kids to do while here.
What the recreation department was able to provide for the kids of Green Chimneys was a sense of normalcy. It provided a structure to their day. It provided a stability and an anchor, and they knew that they had something to look forward to every single day.
We did a teacher appreciation drive-through. We did 2 8th grade moving up drive-throughs. Our graduation may have been the most memorable of anything we have done here at Green Chimneys during the last 4 months.
I just can't wait for the kids to come back, because without the kids on this farm, it just isn't the same place.
Overall, it's a huge testament to everyone that we've been working with from other departments, and collaborating and coming up with a solid plan and being proactive.
It has been an honor and a pleasure during these 4 months to work with my staff. That they have really done a fabulous job.
Everybody really pitching in and really jumping in with 2 feet to take care of the needs of the kids that they see in front of them.
What impressed me the most about this agency was the leadership and our ability to communicate and create procedures that made sure our campus didn't skip a beat. And at the end of the day, we came out on top.
Wow, what an amazing piece. The spirit of Green Chimneys really shine through that video. Before I go on any further, I hope you saw all those animals during that video. And one of those animals could possibly show up at one of your Zoom calls. If you cough up 250 or more, or multiples, we'll put you many times in our sweepstake. I mean, just think about a llama showing up at your family weekly Zoom call, or if you have a team meeting with your associates, bringing in the camel to anyway, the staff here have done just an amazing during this crisis. We couldn't be more proud of them. I know if my parents were here, they would be equally as proud. You know, my faith that his little private school would later evolve into the campus and program it is today. Many people have helped along the way. And I'd like to take a quick moment to recognize and thank a man who has given so much to Green Chimneys and has recently retired from our board. Walter Leinhardt served on our board for 20 years, serving on various committees and as a board president. Walter was critical in advising on legal matters, helping to update bylaws and establishing critical committees. Through his law firm, he secured thousands of dollars in pro bono legal services vital to our organization. We are so proud and fortunate to have Walter as a key advisor for the past 2 decades. And for me and my family, personally, Walter and his wife Wilma have been like family to all of us. We all send our love and thanks to Walter and his family for their generosity and support over so many years. Now we have a special guest who would like to share some thoughts about Green Chimneys with you.
Hi, everybody. I'm here to talk about something that's so completely easy to talk about because it's important. Green Chimneys. I think it was probably 30 years ago when I first became aware of it. The guy who takes care of my horses was working there with the kids, and he was telling me about this incredible place and how challenged these kids were. And he told me one story where there was a completely mute child who had been so traumatized he wasn't talking, and he started with the animal therapy, and Eddie was taking care of the animals. So little by little, this child was so traumatized, and one of the animals started to create a relationship, and Eddie was just coming and going and doing his job, wasn't pushing anything. And many weeks into it, all of a sudden, the kid talked to him. And Eddie realized that maybe this is the first adult that this kid, who was so needing of love and affection and trust, first adult he'd talked to in a long time. I was incredibly moved, and I wanted to see this place, so I went over there. And my mind was blown how important the work was. What an extraordinary story of Dr. Ross, who started it. The purest of motivations, of just to help these kids that no one else seemed to be able to help. I've seen incredible success stories over the years, and I've seen the incredible gratitude in not only the kids, but the parents who were able to see their kids open up and have new life experiences where they could forget the problems that they had. Create a trusting relationship with the world. That's an extraordinary thing to give to a child. And to the incredible people who work there. You know, Paul has been an incredible person in everyone's life there. Obviously, Dr. Ross, who right up to the end, we lost him this last year, but right up to the end, he was the heart and soul of it. But the generations of kids who have emerged from the Green Chimneys experience better, more alive, more trusting, more embracing of a hopeful future. And right now, Green Chimneys needs all of us even more, especially in the environment we're in right now. The COVID-19, the money strains on everyone. It's one of the last of these extraordinary places that is committed to helping kids, and in the most generous and soft and caring way one could imagine. So I'm here, and will be here, and my family will be here helping as well, and I hope everyone else will pitch in and do whatever you can. It's really important work. God bless you. Bye.
Thank you so much, Richard. It's always amazing to have you here, and hopefully next year in June, the first Sunday in June, we will have our Bird of Prey Day, which we didn't have this year, and you will be here again. Your presence is always really inspiring. Sorry about the technical glitch before, but I think we're all used to it. Anybody who has made Zoom calls knows we freeze up. Stick with us. Don't go anywhere. I have two other animals to introduce to you. And of course, we already heard Richard talk about Paul. That would be Paul Kupchak, who is the founder of our wildlife rehabilitation program. You will see him later with Ed with a surprise. But right now, we have Dave over here with a peregrine falcon. Our Bird of Prey Center really does two things. We rehabilitate birds in the community with the children, birds that have been injured, hurt, fallen out of the nest, have gotten shot, poisoned, whatever. And we have some permanently injured birds, over 50, that live at the rehab center. The children participate in the care of the animals as much as they can. And of course, it's a little bit difficult with fragile animals, potentially dangerous animals. What we really find is that even some of our most challenged and fragile children Establish a relationship that's respectful with these birds. Dave here has worked for quite a few years with one of our students who really has struggled in the classroom and in the residence. But when he comes and works with Dave and this falcon, he is able to stay on task, to participate, and hopefully that will translate back into the residence and home to his family, because ultimately that's what it's about. Now, the peregrine falcon, one of the falcons here to work with the kids.
In our brief video, you may remember that I mentioned our morning report, which was a great way to keep both the staff, families, and children engaged and connected. We have a special Gala morning report put together tonight from Jamie Taylor, who is one of our teachers, also known as Jamie in the Morning. I hope you enjoy it.
Hello and welcome to the Morning Report, a special evening edition for the Green Chimneys Gala. Sorry, I'll try that again. Green Chimneys Gala! Much better. In fact, the gala is so special, I'm going to do my buttons up on my blazer as well. Seems to have shrunk a little, probably from the swimming pool. Anyway, on with the show! Hello and welcome to the morning...
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? How are you doing this?
Well, it's easy, Mr. Taylor. I remember all those times that I helped you in the computer lab.
Okay.
I didn't teach you everything I know about computers.
Well, okay, but can I just...
It's the high school takeover. We have a high schooler taking over the morning report. As you can see, I've taken over Mr. Taylor's computer. Hello and welcome to the morning report. Today is April 30th, 2020. Now here is Mr. Boyle with Today in History.
Oh, hi Matthew. I'm here to do Today in History. Can you please give Mr. Taylor back his morning report?
Yeah, hi Mr. Boyle, thank you. I might let Mr. Taylor back into the morning report tomorrow.
Good morning, Green Chimneys. Today is Thursday, April 30th, and on this day in history, in 1789, George Washington was inaugurated as the first president of the United States of America.
Thank you very much, Mr. Boyle. And now it's time for a real Today in History. You might know this person.
On this day in history, many years ago, Tom was born. Tom Boyle was born. Happy birthday!
Now over to Nurse Fran with the joke of the day.
Good morning, Green Chimneys. Nurse Franny here with your joke of the day. What do you call a deer with no eyes? No idea. See ya.
Thank you, Nurse Fran. Now over to Miss Lagertio with the weather.
Oh, weird. Hey, Matt. I was expecting Mr. Taylor.
Alright, I finished that math homework. I'm going to finish that math homework.
Anyways, me and Dob here, we have the weather for you for today. It's going to be a high of 55 and a low of 53, so it's going to be cold, as per usual. So I've got my blanket and my Dobby here to cuddle me and keep me warm. You guys grab those too. Have a good day.
Happy birthday to Chris today in Mr. Smith's class. Are you going to make me say hi I finished the math homework? Because I really didn't. As you can see, I've taken over Mr. Taylor's computer.
I'm back! Where were we? We're on the pledge? Oh man, I missed a lot. Okay, well, it's a good one. Let's call this one the Turtle Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey everybody, it's Bobby Kennedy here, and Cheryl and I are so sad that we can't be there with you this year. It's an annual ritual for the Kennedy and the Kennedy-Hines family to go to Bird of Prey Day, and it's part of the year that I love, and I'm very, very sad that we can't be there. We love Green Chimneys. Green Chimneys is a magical, magical place. that heals children by healing animals. And we love every part of it. We love all of you. I'm very happy that I can be with you on video. I'm sad that we can't be there in person. And best of luck to all of your festivities this year and your fundraising aspirations. And love to Paul and Roz and everybody.
That was great. Thanks so much, Jamie and Bobby. Our teachers and, of course, our parents have worked so hard during this pandemic. It's been an unbelievably difficult time, but everybody has stepped up to the plate and really risen to the occasion. And we have some messages to share with you from one of our dedicated teachers, Melissa Massari, and a parent of one of our students, Jamie Krug.
Hi there, my name is Melissa Massari and I'm a teacher at Green Chimneys on the Brewster campus for the youngest students that we have there. I teach grades 1 through 3, and this was the class and the grade that I taught during the time of distant learning. I was asked to talk about distant learning and what it looked like in my classroom, Zoom, and how I found it to be. I think I can describe it as one of the most trying times in my teaching career. I had to learn all different techniques and programs and skills in order to really teach my students. It's one thing to keep a student that has special needs engaged in a classroom when I can have a tangible reward to give them, or I can have manipulatives to give them, and to help them stay engaged and help them learn. Now, during distant learning, I didn't know how I was going to do that. How would I be able to actually teach a math concept when I don't have manipulatives in front of them for me to show them how to do something, and then for them to then show me that they understand how to do something? I was really nervous for my students. I saw a lot of students that were struggling behaviorally. I could tell by the lack of participation in our Zoom classes. I could tell by the type of work that they were submitting to me, and that was hard. I had students that were coming to school every day before distant learning and putting 110% into their work, and I saw those students that I knew were really good students falling behind, and it was really sad. That broke my heart. I also saw students, a few of them, that rose to the occasion. I could tell that they were doing their own work, but I could tell that they also found a sense of independence in their Google Classroom and signing on and coming on for an hour and knowing that they had a list of things to do, completing it, coming back to class and kind of reporting out to me. And they were students in the classroom that did struggle, but then found a sense of independence in their work and did a nice job. It was really sad and made it hard for me to see them every day over a computer screen, but that was the best part. I know that me signing on every day gave a sense of normalcy to myself, so I could only imagine how that felt for my students.
And clinical coordinators and Mr. Jerry and Dr. Plackey as well. And now with COVID and everybody being home for distance learning, we were very concerned about what that would do for her social and emotional health, notwithstanding her academics. The good news is that Parker is somebody who is naturally quite independent in her learning. That being said, the place where she really struggles is with learning to ask for help, with speaking with other students, and learning how to be social with her peers in a productive and positive way, as well as not being so hard on herself when things don't come as easily as she would like and be used to. We were nervous about not having that face-to-face interaction, the one-on-one interaction with her social worker, and being able to practice those skills with her peers. But we were shocked at how unbelievably well Green Chimneys supported our daughter, and we know her peers. She still had her regular sessions with her social worker, The clinical coordinator, Michelle Barrera, as well as Mr. Jerry, and plenty of the other people she's used to seeing around campus would pop in for their morning sessions. There was a sense of regularity. There was extra help. There was everything that you could possibly hope for in terms of curriculum and social emotional support that was given to our child during this pandemic. We were so impressed. We are so grateful. And our daughter is thriving despite the fact that she is in a very different situation than she or any of us thought we would be in. I can only imagine the challenges, the sacrifice, the hard work, and the love that was put into making this program work despite the challenges that everybody faced by everybody from top to bottom at Green Chimneys. And my husband and I, as well as our daughter, are incredibly grateful, even more so than we ever have been, the fact that she goes to Green Chimneys and she has that support and the care of everybody there. Thanks so much, everybody, and I hope you stay healthy. Take care.
Wow. That was a great video, huh, Bob?
Yeah, absolutely. It's touching.
And it really talks about the spirit of Green Chimneys and you know what our faculty are doing, what the animals do for us, and a lot of you know what of our sponsors and our friends like Richard Gere and Bobby Kennedy and many on the call with us today. I see that we're up to $54,000 with our Fundometer. We've got, I mean, we can extend this thing if everybody would like us to. I mean, you could go and grab some dinner and we could sit here until we hit that $75,000 mark. But we would rather you guys step up and give us a few more shekels as we're talking. We have a little bit more of the program to go. But, you know, don't forget that any donation over 250 will give you an opportunity to have one of our animals join you at a upcoming Zoom call, which is an amazing thing. And I don't want to forget to remind everybody about CharityBuzz.com. We've got great auction items available. So, you know, if you want to spend money on the auction and get us to the 75 grand, that would be great too. But again, we're here tonight to really raise some money to support Green Chimneys and what's going on. Takes a lot to feed those animals, especially those two camels, and the staff are working really tirelessly on all the protocols that we've put in place. You know, a lot of people have mentioned about the kids not being there, but I'm happy to report that our summer program has started. We have, and Ed maybe can update us later, but over 70 students are now back in residence with us at Green Chimney. So I think our animals are back to getting a little bit extra love and care from the children. And I think the children are back giving some love and care to our staff who really, you know, live with that as well. They feed off of that. Bob, anything else before we move on?
No, I think it would be exciting to bring a camel to your next staff meeting. So, I mean, I think you've really got some options here to work with. And plus,
Absolutely.
like you said, so the kids are doing so much now that they weren't able to do before that they missed. Everybody is finally, you know, getting back to the new normal, at least for now, which is so helpful and so important. And take a look at your total there, Don.
Wait a minute. John Doe. Who is this Johnny Doe? I got to meet that guy. Wow. This is awesome. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, John Doe. But really, that just blows me away. Hey, Dad, what do you think? We're up to 109,000 already. It's unbelievable. Hey, Michael, who do you have up next for us over at the lawn?
Well, up next, we have amazement looking at a meter going up. I mean, what? Who? How? More. Right now, I want to introduce you to the infamous camels. It's not hump day, but behind me, you have Chris and Samantha with Phoenix and Sage. And Don, I remember so well, 10 years ago, I was sitting with your dad and I was saying, gee, you know, I saw some programs in Europe having camels in therapy programs. Why don't we try that? And typical, he was like, oh, okay, if you find some free ones, we'll do it. And what we ended up getting is a donation of two lovely camels. They were young at the time. And This is kind of the core of the camel team now. Samantha was here from the beginning. Chris joined us a little bit later. There are a few others. And these animals have taught us a lot. They are large, they are powerful, they have a horrible reputation. People think they spit, they kick, they're nasty, and they can do all of those things. And we certainly discovered that, and we had some challenges with them. But then again, everyone is allowed their hissy fit, and the same is true for us and the children who we have here. And how do you work with that? And what we've learned over the years is that it's a balance between understanding, kindness, and at the same time, structure and consistency and really expectation. This is what we expect you to do. And so Phoenix and Sage now have become mannerly gentlemen camels after a rambunctious youth. They work with the kids. The kids learn a lot from them about behavior. And both Chris and Samantha are excellent at sort of bringing out the best in the kids when they're in the presence of the camels. Couple of things. Bactrian camels come from China. People are worried about them living in the cold here. It's actually interesting. They prefer cold coming from Mongolia. They're not so excited about the heat. One quick thing. People often say that animals are non-judgmental. We don't think that's true, and Phoenix and Sage really show us that. The animals do judge us, but they don't care how rich we are, what clothes we wear, how smart we are. What they expect is that we are kind, that we are gentle, that we make them feel safe. And as long as we do that and understand their needs and their language, they're willing to have a relationship with us. Now, there's nobody better to talk about our program than our children. And last week, I took my phone and went around campus and I sort of did roving reporter. And we have some fun clips to show you, videos to show that what's best about being on the farm, and I hope you enjoy it.
Welcome to Green Chimneys.
Welcome to Green Chimneys. My name is Michael. This is my favorite animal. His name is Walter.
If you had to tell someone something about Green Chimneys and what we do here and all, what might you tell them?
It's a very therapeutic environment where like you can take walks and breaks and it's not really overwhelming. So like if you're having a bit of a hard time struggling focusing and stuff, you can come to one of the many animals we have here, just pet them and just talk and stuff.
In the Wildlife Center, we don't usually name the animals unless they came in here with a name. Actually, she is a rescue owl that we can't release her to the wild. I'll see if I can show her. She got hit by a car and her head trauma, and got eye damage and can't see at all. Well,
Green Chimneys is a good place to have kids come and go to school if they're having a hard time in their public school. The horses, most importantly, all the animals, and just hanging out with you guys.
I try to come to the Wildlife Center as often as I can to help out.
Thank you for everybody who donates to Green Chimneys. This is also a pretty good program.
Thank you for caring for us.
Thank you for caring about us, the people, and as well as the animals. And yeah, thank you for everything.
Hey, I'm Mike Richter, former goaltender with the New York Rangers, and I've been a friend of Green Chimneys for many years now. I think you know that the Birds of Prey Day has been canceled, as has been the Gala. All NGOs are really hurting right now with this COVID lockdown. It's an unfortunate situation, but no charity has the as important mission, I think, as Green Chimneys, helping children through challenges and birds and other animals recover from their own physical and emotional challenges. So I would love it if everybody out there who is a friend of Green Chimneys, and some that aren't, maybe new ones this year, especially under the circumstances, could reach out in any way possible and pitch in anything you can give would be very, very meaningful for this cause. We want to keep it, the bridge going until we can get back on our feet. I will and hope to see you guys participate as much as possible. So thanks for your time. Stay safe out there and do what you can to help out this great cause at Green Chimneys. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mike, and again, thanks to John Doe. I hope everybody won't stop giving, and will join John Doe. We've got a little bit more time, and we can take as much as you can give. So you still have a few last minutes, and actually, the Fundometer will go for the remainder of the day. I want to thank everybody. Thank you so much for your generosity. Michael is with another one of our farm animals that needs a lot of care and food. Michael, who do you have with us now?
Well, I have someone who would make your dad proud and smile. One of the promises we made to Dr. Ross is that there would always be draft horses on this campus. And behind me is Mac, being ridden by Valerie, who is one of our instructors. She's a certified instructor with the Professional Association of Therapeutic Horsemanship, because our program is therapeutic riding. These instructors are very good at working with children who might not be eager to participate, little resistant to directions, may have anxiety or be depressed, or really not believe in themselves enough that they can do this. Mac is a Clydesdale, and a Clydesdale is a draft horse breed from Scotland, originally carried knights into jousting and then later pulled heavy artillery. Today, Mac is a therapeutic companion, and he can be ridden by children who are quite small. And as you can imagine, for a child to be able to send directions to a large animal like this, and the animal actually does what the child is asking, is amazingly empowering. And you really understand the impact that you can have and the communication that you can give. And what we also find is a lot of our students, particularly neuroatypical students, do have difficulty with emotions and understanding what other people are mirroring to them or what the world is saying to them and how to respond to it. Horses have a body language that is rather easily understood. Their ears go back, they're unhappy. Their tail swishes, they're unhappy. And Valerie and the staff spends a lot of time talking to the kids about how the horses are feeling. Is the horse happy today? And that hopefully tunes them in a little bit more to that language of emotion. And by the way, all the animals, everyone, please understand, we are very, very concerned about animal welfare. And while the animals are amazingly helpful for the children, we always really make sure that every animal has what they need. And you can imagine the amount of supervision that we need to provide minute by minute to really make sure that the interaction is a positive one is considerable. So there's a lot of work behind this. But one of the things we hope, and I'm going to step out in a minute, is that we welcome all of you to Green Chimneys whenever it is possible. Those of you who've been here before, but especially those of you who've never been here before. You have to come here, meet the kids, see our community, all of our animals here at Green Chimneys. They are such a key to the success of our children.
name is Lauren McGow. I'm an eagle falconer that specializes in flying and rehabilitating eagles. I just wanted to take a minute to talk about Green Chimneys, one of the most amazing organizations, my favorite to support, one of the only school groups that allows school kids to rehabilitate raptors, that incorporates human-animal relationships into every aspect of their education, which makes a huge, huge difference for kids from a variety of backgrounds. So I know times are tough now, but if you can at all, please consider giving Green Chimneys a donation. They make the world a better place. Thank you.
Before we begin the next part of our program, I'd like to follow up on Don Ross's observation in regard to our students. We had a seamless opening 3 weeks ago. We have 125 children on both campuses being educated daily. And the good news is that all of our students and staff have been healthy. And I was very pleased to greet the youngsters as they came off the bus the first day of school with big smiles and very pleased to be back to school. So we are in very good shape at this point at Green Chimneys from an educational and residential perspective. Now I'd like to introduce Paul Kupchak, who was referenced several times during the gala. Paul has served Green Chimneys for 33 years. He has rehabbed thousands of animals. He has supported thousands of children during that 33-year period. And the Wildlife Center is named after Paul in his honor. And it has been a pleasure and an honor to work with Paul and to learn from Paul. I want to spend a moment or two and thank you for all of you for joining us tonight. We are so grateful for your support of our children and animals here at Green Chimneys. We'd like to conclude this evening with one of our traditions. Often when a child is leaving Green Chimneys, we celebrate.
And we want to thank Don and everyone who made this possible. It's an experiment for us. What do you think? Did it work? Just a reminder, the Fundometer will be open 24 hours. And then don't forget the auction. Thursday, August 6th, that's the deadline for that. Participate, have the camel in your Zoom meeting or whatever. And this is not an end. This is sort of a continuing relationship with you. You're our friends. You're part of us. And we appreciate any time you join us and certainly when you give to us. And we wish you a good evening and till next time.